Hi guys, it's Promise Sebastian here again. Welcome to Pro Studios. So we are going to be modeling this snowman in Blender. Okay, so if you're new to Blender, don't worry, the model is simple. You could cope along. Okay, so I'm going to be explaining the techniques you need to be grounded on to proceed on the model. So that is the vertex, the edge, and the face. Okay, so I'm going to switch over from render mode now to solid mode. I've explained all these mode on my previous tutorial. You might want to check it out if you are yet to, if you're new to Blender also. So I'm going to zoom out this and I'm going to delete all this to start from a blank screen. So I'm going to uncheck make the light selectable. Okay, so if you're wondering what I just did now, I just tapped on use the left click, that is the key you use to left click, you use to click on stuff, to click on this selectable. Now all these things means here with this arrow means that they are selectable. This one I click on it is not selectable. If I uncheck it, it's no longer selectable. So how you add this on default, you're not going to see this. How you add this is you head over here at the top of the screen there, you tap on this now, tap on this, so you're going to see this menu now. If you check this now, I just unchecked it now, so if you go back you won't see it again. But if you go to that icon again and then check that arrow or card look like icon here, and then once we go back to this our menu here, you're going to see the selectable. So if I tap on it, you're going to see the icon. If I tap on it now, it's selectable. If I untap it, you can't select the light again. So I'm going to go out from the camera mode. I take I'm on camera mode. Once you see something like this, it means that it's focused on what we are focused on now is what we can render. So that is how it works. So I'll tap on the camera, use this camera icon here, left click on it, and it brings you to the mode, and then you left click again, it takes you out. Okay, so we are going to delete all these. So I'm gonna click all for this now, delete. Then let me, once you are in edit mode, if you want to delete stuff, you just can't delete them one. Okay, you have to delete, choose whether you want to delete vertices. I just talked about vertices. Okay, I'm going to talk more on them now. So after I'm done deleting it, if I add a new shape, so you could choose whether you want to delete an edge, or you want to delete a face, or you want to delete an edge, or you want to delete a vertex. So if I all A, use A to all select. That's, you have to place your cursor on whatever object, and A, you select all. Okay, so if you press delete, that's the main delete on your keyboard. Okay, not the backspace, the main delete. There's a keyboard written delete there. So if I click that delete now, you see it brings up a menu, vertex, edges, or face, the ones I want to delete. But then for me to avoid this, I will head over to my menu here, head over to object mode, and then press the delete again. This time it deletes it without asking me any query because it's in object mode. I don't have edges and faces in object mode. Object modes sums the mesh as an object without having to divide it into edges and vertices. So this is my mesh I just did. So I'm going to box select it. Let me Alt Z. Alt Z is called X-ray mode. So once you Alt Z, you click Alt and then Z, is going to give you the functionality for you to see through the mesh. Okay, so I can see through this mesh now, and I can also select through the mesh. So I'm going to select everything here, and I'm going to Alt Z so I see what I selected again. Alt Z, if you click it, it brings out the X-ray, and then if you click Alt Z again, it removes it. That is most of the functions of Blender. Once you click them and you click them again, they go out. Or most times once you use Control whatever it is and then Alt that thing again, let's say Control X and Alt X could mean adding something and then removing something. Alt most times in Blender means to remove. So I'm going to shift to move this now, and then I'm going to shift A now to add a mesh. So shift A, use it to add a mesh, shift and then A key, use it to add a mesh. So we are going to add a cube now. So this is the cube in object mode. I can't edit this because it's in object mode. I told you object mode sums it up. For you to edit this, you have to shift to edit mode. The shortcut for shifting this, if you don't want to just be going up here and be clicking it, you use Control tab. There's a key in your keyboard that has tab. It has arrow going left and arrow going right. You use it and then control tab. You have the menu here. You have all these things that are mode now. So object mode, the one you'll be using often for mode, then object mode and edit mode, the two of them. Object mode is 4, edit mode is 6. So I'm going to switch over to edit mode. Now all my faces are selected. Now I now have faces because on default, once you just move to object mode, it's going to select all the whole faces. So we're going to tap on an empty space. So you move your cursor on an empty space and then left click on that empty space, so it goes off any selection that it's selected. Okay, so we are going to shift and then we use our middle mouse button and then move this now. So you could see in edit mode I have 3 types of mode, and they are at the top here. The first one, if you look closely, it said select mode, and he wrote it vertex mode, and then this is edge mode. On edge mode you could select just the edge of this object. So this thing works like it's a geometry. Okay, so you have edge, which is the line, you have vertex, which is the point. So this is the vertex and this is the point of this shape now, the point of these shapes now. And then you have the edge, which is the lines that forms this shape. Now this is the point, the vertex, the point that forms the shape. And then you have the faces, which is the plane that forms these faces now. So this shape, not face. So that is how it works. It's simple geometry. Okay, so you could choose, you don't have to edit or then come over here to tap on, to left click on the vertex, left click on the edge before you work on them, because you have to click on each of the modes here before you could work on just the mode. Okay, so if you're on face mode, you can't select vertex. You could just, let's move to face mode, you could just select only face and you can't select vertex. But if you're now on vertex mode, you can select vertex and you can't select faces. You just have to be vertex. So the shortcut for this is 1 for vertex, 2 for edge, 2 for edge, and then 3 for face. Okay, so this is my face now. You have 2 for your edge, so I'm just clicking on the edge, and then 1 for vertex. So that's just a shortcut. 1 for vertex, 2 for edge, and then 3 for face. Okay, I'm going to be using the shortcuts a lot, so you need to get used to it. Then another thing is, if you want to delete something or you want to extrude something, so those are the most of the functionality we are going to be using. Okay, so I'm gonna tap on this. I'm going to use 3 and move over to fix now, and then tap on this fix now. So let's say we want to extrude. Extrude is E, from the word extrude is E. So you tap on E on your keyboard. You see, once you tap on it, most times it gives you an angle normal to the face you just tapped. So what you just have to do after typing the E is just grab your mouse button and move it to the angle you want. You could move it backwards to bring it out, or you could move it in to take it in. So I'm grabbing it outward now, so it's bringing the extrusion because it gave me an axis. Okay, so let me tap on the top face now and then press E. Now you see it's going to give me an angle. So if I just grab it up now, it moves up now. So that is how extrude is called. Extrude something, to bring something out of something. So that is how it works. Okay, so we can Control Z. Control Z works on Blender to undo what you did, or you could extrude and then E to extrude, and then it gives you the angle. You could grab, and if you feel like it's not okay, you could right click, not left click is always to click something, then right click most times options. But if you right click on Blender, it removes wherever it is you added, whatever action you took. Once you right click, the action is gone. So that is how it works. Okay, so let's say we want to grab this now. So let's use we want to extrude this now, and then we'll grab it out now. Okay, so let's say we want to extrude this to a particular angle. We don't, once you click E now, it gives you an angle automatically, which is normal to where your cursor is facing. Assuming my cursor is here now, if I assume my cursor is at the top here, if I click E now, you see it's going to give me an axis. Let me not call it an angle. That I can just drag up my mouse or drag it down to go on that particular axis. But then if I tap on this now and then E to extrude and then give it my own axis, let's just say I give this now. How you know the axis? You could follow the colors of this line. Okay, the axis are signified on this round geometry here. This round geometry they just drew here with colors. Okay, you see Y is green, X is red, and then Z is blue. So you could look here, Z is not identified because Z is the upward axis. Then this green straight line here is the Y axis. Then this green straight line here is the X axis. That's what you need to note so that you identify it every time, because it can confuse you most times. Once you move to mesh, you don't know the exact one. Just use the green lines to identify them. So I'm going to shift move this. Okay, you shift and then your middle button, that's the button you use to scroll on your mouse, you press on it. This time you don't have to scroll on it, and then you can move on the screen like this. And then if you want to pan, just press on it without shift, and then this one. So for you to move without panning through the screen, you just have to shift and you move. And then for you to pan around, you just click on it without shift and you can pan around it. Okay, so then let me click E now, and I don't want to go on this axis they gave me. Now this is Y axis, I want to go to X axis. So if I click X now, this is going to be extruding it X now. But you see the extrude is giving me, it's just extruding the face that axis, and it doesn't have any thickness. It's kind of flat. So that is how it works. Okay, so I'm going to shift to object mode. So Control Tab for we're on object mode. So we'll delete this now, and then we're going to use our Shift A to add mesh, and then mesh. All these things are what you can use to edit, add text, and whatever it is you want to add. All these things are something you can add on Blender, work with them. But for this tutorial, we're going to be sticking with mesh because that's what we'll be needing to work on this now. So we are going to add a UV sphere, because that's what we are going to use to model our stuff now. So you could see that this object has an origin, and origin is the point, the center of mass of this object. Now that is the origin. Okay, so but we could bring the origin at the bottom here, so it stays there if you want to add a plane, because we'll add a background to this. So we'll grab this now. G is used to grab. From the word grab, you bring out G, that's the shortcut. So your G key, it automatically grabs this thing now. So if I move my mouse, you see it's moving to wherever I want it to move because it has grabbed it with G. So let's say it's here, I don't like it here, I could just right click and it brings it back. You see how it works. So I'm going to grab now, and this time around I'm going to give it an axis. Once you click extrude, you click E and then click Z again, that means you've given it an axis. You have 3 axes in Blender here, X, Y, Z. So let's say I click grab now, I want to move it to the Z axis. The Z axis is not hard to identify, it's just the upward movement. It's the X axis and the Y axis is going to confuse you most times. So I'm going to move it here now, and I'm going to use this gizmo here, if I can call it that. Okay, so it automatically gives you an axis without in the 2D form. Okay, so you know this is in 3D form now. You could see a lot of faces here, okay, in 3D, but then you could see the 2D, which will make things easy. Now you see I'm now seeing the 2D form of this now. So I just have my X axis and my Z axis. Now you can see the Z axis without seeing the Y axis because it's now in 2D form. Okay, so we'll grab this now, Z, and move it up here. Then we'll tap on the material, so you could see the 3D cursor is at the origin now. So what we'll do, we'll tap on this material now, and then we'll use the right click now, and then set to origin. Right click brings out options on any mesh. Okay, left click is to select, right click is to bring out options. So you see set origin. So we're going to move now to origin to 3D cursor. So this is the 3D cursor now. This line stuff you're seeing here, let me tap on the background so you see this round stuff you're seeing here, that's the origin. So if we check on this now, and then we'll right click and then head over to this set on origin, and then move origin to 3D cursor. You see now the origin, it's now on the 3D cursor. So that is it. I'm going to middle click and then pan, it goes out from the 3D view I was using before through this gizmo now. So I have this now. I think I'm going to scale this now, and then Z, I'm going to scale it in the Z. I scale it a little bit. Okay, so this is good now. So I'm going to duplicate this now. To right click to bring out options. Okay, for you to duplicate, you could click Shift D to duplicate, and then Alt D to duplicate it without properties. Okay, so let me explain that as fast as I can. So I'm going to use the options now. So you see duplicate object, which is Shift D. Okay, so duplicate object, I'm gonna grab it here. That one duplicates it without linking it, and then let's bring out another one. Then this one is duplicate link is Alt D, not Shift D. So I'll bring it here now. Okay, that's the shortcut. If you click shift or alt and shift, it's going to give you these functions now that I just right click and did now. Okay, so shift and then pan through the view. Let's say I tap on this now, move over to the edit mode, control tab 6, the edit mode now. So I'm going to tap on one face, E to extrude, and then let's extrude it to the Y axis and bring it out. So you could see that nothing is happening to any of this mesh now. Nothing is happening to them. But Control Z and then Control Tab 4, that's object mode. And then we'll tap on this one now, Control Tab 6, edit mode. And then I'm going to tap on the face now and then E to extrude. Let's extrude to the Y axis and bring it out. You see, as I'm bringing this one out, something is coming out here because it's linked. So whatever it is, material, if you add a material to this, it's going to affect on this one also. That is how it works. So we are going to Control Tab 4 and then tap on this. You see, there are any material you add on this one that will affect on this, even if you edit it in edit mode. So Control Z will go back to what we had before. So I'll delete this. Is in Control Tab 4. We'll move to object mode and then we'll delete this now. Then we're going to use this to continue what we are doing. We'll grab it now, place it at the top now, scale it a little bit so it gives us we are looking for. So this time around we'll try this out again in 2D mode. So we'll grab this again and then transform it only on the 2D axis. So something like this. I think it's good for me. It doesn't have to be that perfect. So let's try X axis. So we'll make sure it's balanced. Shift and move. So all this is used to move to a particular axis on a 2D form. Let's say I want to move to Y axis. And I'll move and I'm in 2D view of this Y axis. So let me move back to X I was before. I'm on the 2D view of this X axis. I only have 2 axes here, not 3 axes. So I'll grab this now. It's useful because you can move that on only that particular axis. If I grab this now, it's not moving on 3D, it's moving only on this axis. It can help me, so I don't, if I grab this and move it on this 3D axis, most times you might want to move just X and you're moving Y also because it's 3D. But once you are using the 2D view, whatever it is you're moving only on that 2D view. So this cannot go inside or come forward. It's just left and right. Okay, hope you get the ideology, get the idea there. Ideology. Okay, so we'll scale this a little bit more and then we are going to duplicate. Let's duplicate link, grab Z, then bring this one at the top and then scale it to make the head. So I'm gonna grab this Z to bring it up a little way here. I don't want the head to be big, so I'm going to duplicate again, link, bring this somewhere here, scale it so it's small. So there's a modifier called array you can use to increase the number of arrays of any mesh, but then we're not going to be using the modifier for the sake of this tutorial. Let's just duplicate link, Control Z, Control Z, Shift Control Z is used to reverse, Control Z is used to go back. That means reverse what has gone back before. Let's say I grab this here now, I grab and move this here, Control Z will bring it back, Shift Control Z will bring it back to where it was before. So I'll grab this and keep it here, Alt D, so grab, and then we are going to move on the Y axis, right? So move the eye on the Y axis somewhere here. So I'm going to shift select this, then grab and place it on the face now. So I'm going to use the 2D view so I see what I'm placing. So I'll grab this somewhere here and then I'm going to, on the Y axis, grab and then X, move the eye to the front. Then I'm going to use the 3D view and see what I'm looking. So I'm going to use the 2D view again. I think the eye it's far apart too much, so we'll grab now, move Y axis closer so the eye gets closer. It's too far apart. Shift, then I'm gonna grab Y axis, move the 2 eye together, and then this is great for me. I think I can move it inside, so I'll grab and then X to move it inside. Move it inside. So I feel this is great for my eye. I think this went inside and this it's out too much, so we'll grab just this X, move it the more. So this is great for this now. Okay, so we'll duplicate this to add just the mouth. I think we can duplicate link also. So we'll zoom into this, scale X to scale, and then grab resize as much as I can. So I'll grab X, then bring my mouse forward. Okay, so this for the mouth, you could scale it a little more. Then we'll grab this, keep it somewhere here. To duplicate this, tell you guys there's a modifier called array modifier, but for the sake of this tutorial, we're not going to be using the array modifier. So this won't take out time. So we could duplicate this. Let's make sure it's on the x-axis. Although okay, on the x-axis. So it's not 3D moving any stuff, it's moving it just on 2D. So this one is going inside. You could just grab this X and bring it out. Grab the other one. Grab X and bring it out. Okay. So this is becoming big too. I'll just duplicate link, place this here, duplicate link, place here, duplicate link, place here, duplicate link, place here, duplicate link, place here, and then arrange it also. I'll grab this with G, move it up a little. So I'll bring this closer here. So zoom out to see what will happen. Okay, so the mouth is not properly arranged. So I'll grab this now. Grab. Okay. Grab. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? So it's not that very much noticeable. It's not something you should put much work to. Okay, so grab this one. Grab, move here. Grab, move here. Grab. Okay, so zoom out to see what we'll have. I feel the mouth is okay for me, except this that is far apart. Okay, so the mouth is okay for me now. So I'm going to add the buttons on the body. So duplicate this, duplicate link. The buttons are the same color, so if I add it here, it's okay for me. Shift, move them, bring it up now. I'm going to shift again, link here. So I will need to X-ray Alt Z. I thought you guys about this X-ray, so I can see in beneath this now. I'm going to grab X and bring it to the front, and then cancel the Alt Z and Alt Z again. This one inside, grab X and bring it to the front. Alt Z, so I cancel it. I'm going to grab this. See what it's looking like. And then duplicate link again, place this one under here, and then see what I have. I'm going to grab this somewhere here. I think this two is great now. So shift this, and then we'll grab and then x-axis and then move our mouse inside. This stuff goes inside. So I think the one at the mid is great. So let's check this one. Left click on the top one, shift left click on the bottom one, grab, and then move inside again. So I think this is great now. This is awesome for the body. I think I will need to bring in this one front a little. That's X a little. Okay, so we are grabbing X. Great. Okay, we are done with this now. So what we are going to add on this is what I call a subdivision modifier. Okay, so it's used to smoothing objects when you don't have enough of the faces. Okay, a modifier in Blender, is like a tool which you use to update mesh, and then it updates them or works on them undestructively. So if I add a modifier in this now, I can rework on the modifier or delete the modifier and it won't affect any mesh now. So let me add a subdivision modifier, subdivision surface modifier. It's going to modify this mesh, whereas I can also edit on the mesh. Having the modifier there, I can delete the modifier whenever I wish, and then it's not going to affect anything. It's my mesh is going to go back to what it was. So let's just try it out. To add a modifier now, then we increase the level now of this modifier, increase this one, then we are going to shade smooth this, shade to smooth. So this is smoothing up now, and then let's move to the simple one, reduce this a little bit. So it's going to bring out the shape of what I'm looking for me. Let's just leave this at 2 or 3. So we adjust this at 3 now. So you see, I can delete this stuff now, this modifier, and then shade this flat now. So I still have back my mesh, or Z. I still have back my mesh as it was without any problem. So that's how the modifier works. Okay, so we are going to add the modifier now, subdivision surface modifier. So add it on this now. Then we're going to move over to simple, then increase to just increase it to just 3, and then we're going to shade smooth on this now. We want to add a little roughness, and then it looks also smooth. We don't want it to be sharp. Control C. We don't want it to be sharp like this. We want to add a little roughness, and then it looks a little smooth. That was why we needed to add shade smooth also with the subdivision surface modifier. If we want to make it smooth without having this stuff, we can use this Chakmore version of this subdivision modifier, this Chakmore menu. Okay, Catmore, not Chakmore, sorry, Catmore Clark. If you move to the simple doesn't update it that much or smoothes it that much. It's this Catmore smoothes it very well. So we'll move to this simple now, and then we'll shade smooth so that it has a little of these lines, but then it's smooth. Okay, you get me? If I move to this Catmore, you're not going to see anything. It will be very smooth. So this one is used when you want to smoothen like a cup or something that is shiny, that is very smooth. You want to add a little roughness to this. So we are going to shade flat on this one also. So shade flat on this. I think it's shaded smooth. So I'm going to shade flat on it. Shade flat on this. So they both are shaded flat. Okay. So we're going to add a modifier on this one also. Subdivision surface modifier, the simple, and then 3 also. 3 also. And then shade smooth. This one also subdivision surface modifier. Okay, so I can link the both of this now. Can link the both of this. So let's just click on this one and then click on this one last. Okay, so if you click on any object, the one you click last is the active object. In Blender, that is what we call active and non-active object. So active object is the object that have the properties you want to copy to another object. So I want to copy the properties on this one to this one. As I will select this one first and then select this one last with shift. You tap on shift and then left click is select this one last. So this one is now the active object. It has the, you see the modifier here, it's on this one. So what I can do now is scroll down. Now you see copy selected. I can copy it now to this one. Now you see the effect here now is now on this one. So if I just click only this one, you see it has this modifier already now. So that's how it works. Okay, so we'll shift now, then we'll have what we need for the body. Okay, it's manageable like this, though it's not very much alike. We could still do that. It won't take us more time. We'll grab these two and then we'll use grab and then Y on the Y axis, and then we'll move our mouse to the left side, make sure it's centered. Okay, I feel this is okay now. So what you guys will need to pay attention is what I'm gonna call the mirror modifier. So I'm going to bring my 3D cursor here now and then add a mesh now, because wherever this 3D cursor, this is the 3D cursor now. let's say I move it here. This is the trick, because wherever you place it, you can use that place at the as the origin. You can use that place at the point for adding mesh. You can use it at the point for scaling, whatever it is. So it's really important now to use this. Move it about to you. You should be careful to where you move it to. So I'm going to move it to the hand here because I want to add a mesh here and then mirror it to the other side. So I kept this here now, and then I'm going to move back to my selection key here. Okay, so shift A, and we are going to add this time around the mesh, and the mesh we're going to add is a cylinder. So you see it's added the cylinder there for me. I could reduce the side of the cylinder with this black pen. Once you add an object, let's say we'll go back now and then shift A and then mesh the cylinder again. Once you add an object, you're going to see a black menu here. You use it to reduce the size, reduce the number of vertices. You see I can increase the number of vertices. Let me just type back the 32. Use it to add vertices, increase it, or reduce the radius. So be careful once you are doing any improvements you are doing here, because once you just click enter and then tap on the background anywhere apart from the image and it goes off, you are not gonna see it again. It's gone. You should be careful. Add all the edits you want to add, increase the number of mesh. Once you click on the image, it's gone. So we're going to scale this as much as we can. So we're going to rotate this now, and you see this line is the x-axis now, as I told you guys, the color with this red line now. So we're going to arrow now. I've told you guys if you press any key and then press an axis, is going to move or work whatever function you give to it on that axis. So we pressed arrow, which is rotate, as the name bears, arrow short key. Okay, arrow, and then we are going to x axis, and then you could press numbers for the angle or movement you want. Okay, so the angle I want this now to is 90 degrees, so I just pressed 90. So rotation is on degrees now, so you just press 90 and you left click, and that is great. Now so we are going to grab this now on the x-axis and bring it somewhere here, and then we're going to see our mesh and see what it looks like. So we'll grab this and Z to bring it up somewhere here. So it's going to match the hand that grabs Z, bring it down the more. Okay, so we'll scale this X to scale and then grab in, reduce the side. Okay, so this is great now, and then I'm gonna grab G to grab, and then Y axis, and then move my mouse inside to move this a little bit inside. Okay, so we are going to be using the mirror modifier. Okay, so for you to have it as an add-on, okay, let me click N and explain this to here. This is a menu, another menu where you see add-ons. Okay, so this edit now has the mirror add-on here. So if I add another add-on, you're going to see some of them here. Not all add-ons, but some do appear here. So on N here you have most of the add-on. Don't bother about all this. We're going to be talking about them when we'll be needing them. So you have auto mirror. Now is an add-on which is a mirror modifier. Okay, but straight up, very easy for you not to get it confused. Head over to this spanner icon here on your menu here. It's used to add modifier. So if you bring this, tap on this slide and I'll bring it out, you're going to see all these now modifiers in Blender, and they add any function on this object undestructively. That you can remove them, and then you can also adjust the functions. They are really great to use. Okay, so I'm going to add the mirror modifier. So we'll head over to the mirror modifier. This is the mirror modifier now. So you need to specify the axis you are mirroring it to. Okay, so this is my axis now. I've taught you guys how this axis works. So you can see this is the y axis. This is the green line here. So I want this thing to mirror this side now. So it will have to mirror on the y axis, which is this green line now. So I'm going to move from on default is on the y on the x axis. So I'm going to move it on the y axis now, and then cancel off the x axis, and then you're going to go to this auto mirror again now and change to Z. Okay, because it has to be on Z for it to mirror there. How you know whether it's mirrored or it's not mirrored is you could see we are in edit mode now. You could see this is just face here. These are just the faces, and this side of the face is not selectable. Why? Because it's a mirror. I can just edit one side of the face. Let's hit to extrude, grab up, and the other side follows it. Get, so right click and it goes off. So I can only edit one side and then the other side is follows it. That's how you know it's a mirror. If it's not a mirror, the whole object will be editable in edit mode. So it's a mirror now. So we're going to use the icon here now to tap on the object we want it to mirror on. Like now there is no object here, there is no object listed here which is mirroring on. So you're going to use this soccer lookalike icon, tap on it now, then right left click on this object we want it to mirror on. So I just left click on the object now. You can see it's mirroring it. So let's check the axis that is mirroring to. Okay, so we are going to change from here now. We want it to mirror on the x-axis, so instead of leaving it as z, we're going to move it to y. And then if you check here now, you're going to see that it's mirrored here now. Check here, I'm going to uncheck that of z, because if you leave that of z or on, it's going to mirror x and y automatically. So I just left y checked. Let's get back. So we are going to rotate this now. Arrow to rotate, then x 90, 180. Sorry, I want it to rotate 180. So enter, and the rotation is okay. I want this face now to be outside instead of being inside. The face was inside. Okay, so I'm going to grab this now, x, y, sorry, I move it in a little bit. So we are in edit mode now. I'm gonna grab the face, key to extrude, bring it out, scale it, scale and grab in, x, which is scale and grab in. Okay, so E to extrude to our angle now, then x to scale it a little bit, shift, then E to extrude a little bit again, and then we are going to grab this one up somewhere here, and then this time around we'll press 2 and move to edge mode, and then alt is used to select multiple edges. You see, this is an edge, one edge, this is 2 edge, and this is 3 edge. If I want to select all these edges at once, they are divided, that's why I can't select them up. But if I want to still select them at once, I can just click alt and then select on one edge, and it select all the edge. Now this is useful since you don't have to select them one. So we're going to E to extrude this one, and then we'll grab it out somewhere here to create something like a tree hand. I think this edge here is too big for the hand, so we are going to alt and then select it, scale it a little bit. I think I didn't select this one now. Oh, 3 face, then grab. I'm going to move it inside. Probably we're going to select this. I want to delete it now. So shift, then delete faces. It has deleted the faces now. So we can select this edge, move to edge mode, select this edge, select this edge, select this edge, or Z, and then F to fill the edge, or Z again, and it's filled now. So we've corrected that. Then we'll scale the hand. I think I'm okay with that now. So this one is not filled, so we'll alt and select the whole edge, and then F to fill. F is used to fill wherever edge that is open. So this hand is looking cool. Let's extrude more. E to extrude, X to scale, S to scale, and then G to grab it up somewhere here. Then 3 face, and then grab X to scale. Then we're going to scale it to 0, X, and then we'll click 0. So I've told you guys you can use numbers to scale whatever it is you want to scale. I think this is great. Let's scale this hand, alt, and then we'll select everything. So most times you need to be careful when you're using alt. You shift to edge first, and then alt, then select all. So most times when you click alt and then bring this to the middle, bring the cursor to the middle and select, left click on it, it's not going to select all. It might select it vertically, so you have to bring it close to the extreme of this edge so it selects all. That is how it works. So I'm going to scale this very small. So this is great. We could E3 to the face, E to extrude, X to scale, E to grab right here, and then X to scale again 0, and make sure it scales everything. So I don't feel like adding this thing much effect again. So now we are going to apply the effect now we had on this. So we are going to apply the modifier. So if you cancel it out, it's gonna remove it. But then if you apply it, you can't edit it again now. It's now destructive. So we applied it now. So I applied it because I want to work on this hand. I want to work on this side of the hand. I don't want this other side to have the issue. So I'm going to Control Tab 4, select on this now, then check for the mirror modifier. I think I added 3 mirror modifiers. We're going to cancel this and see what we have. Okay. So I'm going to cancel this, then leave only one of the mirror modifiers, and then we're going to apply it. Then we'll have the mirror modifier now. Control Tab 6. Then I'll edit only this one, and you see it won't affect on the other one because I've applied the mirror modifier. Alt select, edge mode, not edit. Alt select, and I've selected all this, and then E to extrude, grab somewhere here, then X to scale, E to extrude, X to scale 0. Okay, we're gonna leave this way. I think the body is too big for the hand. Okay, but that's great. We're getting there. Okay, so now we are done with the modeling. Control Tab 4, and now we are done with the modeling. We have the hand, and what else is left is the nose. So for the nose, I'm going to Shift A wherever it adds the mesh at the 3D equal, so we can still work on it. To resize this now, grab, then X, bring it forward, scale, resize it, then scale again just to the Z axis. X and Z will grab up to just scale it to the Z axis. So I'll grab this to the nose, arrow, Y 90, arrow Y minus 90. So grab X, bring it to the nose, grab this over here to X, and then I'm gonna grab this somewhere here. Sorry, scale, and then I'm gonna grab X. So we're gonna X, and then we're going to scale it just on the Y axis, so you can scale on a particular axis. This time what it does, it makes the draws the shape on the X axis only. So we have a pointed nose for our image. So we could bring our image down, grab, bring it somewhere here, scale it a little bit. I'm cool with this now. So we're going to move over to our substance, that's shading workspace. So in this workspace, we are going to see what we need to add material colors to this now. So I have material colors here already. Subsequent tutorials, I'm going to explain how the material works. So you see the whole workspace here now. You're going to move from this layout now to shading workspace. So this has moved to the shading workspace. So in this shading workspace, I can now see my image. They are shaded. Okay, so we'll talk about lightning on our next tutorial, how you could light up your scene. Lights are there already. I created them initially, and we didn't have to create the light. So I'm not even seeing the face of the scene. So I think here's the face. So let's just change the color of stuffs first to start with. So I think this is the eyes. So let's add it a material. So I'll check on my material here. I have black. So I'll add this black. We're going to move to the object menu at the top of the screen. Now the object menu you see here now, click on the object, we go over to relations. In relations, you will make it a single user. That means it's going to be a single user. This is where you change all settings. So you could go to object, data, and material. So once you click on it, it makes this a single user. And then you see, if we go to slot now, we can now pick white, and then you see it changes this only. Then we'll go to this one and we'll do same to it. So I'll head over to objects, I'll head over to relation, Use the relation. Okay, relation. Make single user object data and material. So same thing. I'll still make the head the same thing. So I've selected them all together. Okay. Then let's just finish it up. Just one remaining relation. Make single user. Make single user. Make single user object data and materials. Okay, so we can select this now. Add the white, the head, add to the body. This is a material. Okay, it's used. The material is the colors that we are adding to this now. So and you can only add them. You can only see them on this mode, this shading workspace. Okay, this is the shading workspace I am in now. Then the other mode that was before this one was the render workspace, or the render mode. This is the shading workspace. Here you add colors and then you see them. Yeah, okay. So to create all this is very, very easy. You just tap on any of these now, then you could see that this one have been added a color already. Okay, but then you could create another one. Tap on this now and then head over to here where it says new material. That place says new material. You click new material and it adds material for you. So you could name the material whatever name you feel like. You could name it new black, new black. So this is great now, new black. If I scroll down now, you see the new black. Once I tap any object now, in object mode, you could add materials in edit mode also. That's gonna be an explanation of next lecture. So once you tap on any object and then add that color or material, the material reflects. So Control Z, we're going to tap on this now, change the same material white now. Then we'll have our colors for the body. So we'll tap on the hand now. You know, the hand was joined together when we mirrored it. We didn't unjoin them. We can part them apart and they stay different. But then let's leave it join because we want it to have the same color. So we'll slide down. Then I think I have a material color I created, which is brown. I'll click on that one so it has brown now. So my nose, I want my nose to be orange. I'm gonna tap the nose, then head over to material that I have here, the material I called orange. Okay, so you see it's looking complete now. Everything is looking complete. Everything is looking complete. Now let me head over to the solid preview mode. Then I'm going to add a background for this so that it's going to make more sense. So we're going to shift A and then we're going to add a plane now. Add a plane, or we can use a cube. You can use a plane, you can use a cube. Okay, so let me just use a plane. Then we are going to scale this very well somewhere around here. Then we're going to grab it and then X and move to the X axis, grab to the X axis. Let me zoom out so you see what it looks like. Grab, then X, sorry, Y, then move to the Y axis and then grab again Z, then bring it down somewhere here. Then we check the bottom to see, okay, it's kind of coming and grab Z. It will bring it out very well. So somewhere like this is good. So what we'll do now, we shift to edit mode, we control tab 6. I'm in edit mode now. So I'm going to select the faces I want to extrude that. So I'll select this, then shift. I have to be in edge mode. I'm selecting the edges, not the faces. So shift first edge, and then this is the second edge. Then this is the last edge now. And then E to extrude. E to extrude Z. I think I pressed that twice. So shift mark it, E to extrude Z, then bring it out. Grab it up. Okay, so I think this is great now. What I can do, I'm going to call this this my background now, so it doesn't, the edges doesn't come out when it's rendering. So let me open it in the render so you see what it looks like after curving, before curving and then after curving. So we'll head over to this render. There you see it's kind of looking edged. You can see the edges here now, but we don't need that. So I'll head over to the solid preview mode, and then I'm going to press this edge here. I'm going to press this edge here, and then shift this other edge, then scroll again, this other edge, then scroll again, this other edge, and then this other edge. So this is this edge, the one here, the one beneath, the one here. We want to bevel this edge now. We want to curve it. So we use Control B from the word bevel, B, Control B, and then you're going to drag it out. You're going to see it's going to be bevel. Then you're going to scroll your mouse further, add more bevels. So the more the bevels, the more you're screwing it up is adding more bevels, and the more the bevels you're adding, the more is smoothing it up. We'll drag it out and then smoothing it over here. I think it's great now. I'll click OK. Then you see it's smoothing out. I'll tap on this, control tab 4, and then you see I'm now in object mode. So we'll move over to our render again. You see how nice it's looking now. The scene is now more interesting than what it was before. Okay, the scene has been lighted up. Okay, so guys, this is it. Now what you have to do now is head over to your render here now, and then render animation. Okay, go render image, sorry, render image, not render animation. You go render animation if it was animated, and then you could render image. But then before you render it out, you have to check the camera. So for you to check the camera, that's the angle that is going to be rendered. You have to click on the camera icon here now. Once you click on it, this is what you're going to see now. So we are going to click N and see whether it's locked. It will lock the camera to the scene now. Then you're going to move, they will bring it out. So you see it now. My camera is locked to the scene. Something around here. Okay, so if I'm to render this out now from this camera angle, now this thing that is squared now is what is where I'm going to see. I'm not going to see other places except this camera angle because I lock this now. If you unlock this now and then click N and then pan this thing out, then you click the camera again, it's going to bring you back to where you set it before. And then if you render, this is what you're going to see. You need to know this because this is how you know your image and how the render is going to look like. Okay guys, this is it. Thanks for watching this awesome tutorial. Furthermore, we are going to be going on materials and more of the modeling techniques. Okay guys, thanks for watching this awesome tutorial, and see you guys on my next tutorial.